So you might already be there, but you can just intentionally find our seat. So that'll look a little different for each of us, but maybe some common elements we can all consider. Bringing awareness to the pull of gravity, to the way that we hold ourselves and orient ourselves in relation to gravity. I know for me, a lot of muscles and parts of my body want to help hold me up that don't need to. This is a news flash for our muscles. Your face is not part of your postural muscles, so you can let your face relax. Let your face drop and settle and rest, and droop even a little bit. And same with your tongue. Your tongue also, not a postural muscle. It can relax. Maybe you find parts of your neck and shoulders that can settle down a little bit. For me, my belly, even a sense of my ribs relaxing. These are all good places to just settle. So you might, having settled those places, notice your contact with the ground, with gravity. And just give your weight to the chair below you, to the seat below you. As if leaning your weight downward. Perhaps if your feet are on the ground, your feet feel so solid that it's hard to even tell the difference between your foot stopping and the floor starting. If you're sitting on the ground, same thing with your knees and legs. Feel a sense of the ground actually pushing you up, lifting you up. And your own body melding a little bit with this supportive surface below you. This surface which will hold you no matter what. Over and over, we can soften the body to the ground. So from the waist down, you might feel solid and rooted, like a taproot is coming out of your tailbone. Really feeling connected to the ground and the chair below you. From the waist down and from the waist up, slightly drifting upwards. Again, like a tree that could sway back and forth with the wind. So light. Stretching upward just naturally. No effort. And if you're lying down, you can still feel this sense of your tailbone and your head stretching in two different directions, allowing your body to lengthen. And imagine you can just trace the outline of your body with your mind. So eyes closed, just feeling the outline of your body. Essentially feeling your skin all over. What separates inside from outside? You might go part by part, feeling the outside versus the inside of your arm, then other arm, and then torso, etc. Sitting here rooted, solid, but light, flexible. Of course, the mind, these distractions will pull at you repeatedly, perhaps difficult thoughts. You might just check in and notice, where in my body am I paying attention to when I'm lost in my thoughts? Just leave that open. You don't need to find an answer to that question, but use the question to investigate. Whenever you get lost in thoughts, where am I right now? Where am I? And return to this heavy, solid base that you have, and this deep root you have into the chair or into the ground. Invite everybody to imagine that you can breathe up from this root, from your tailbone. Imagine that you're breathing up from the ground and that air fills your entire body from head to toe, or perhaps better said, from toe to head. Imagine that you're breathing up fresh air like a clean spring from the ground. Every breath and every exhale, the air goes back down into the ground. And just a little bit of that toxic material that we all hold inside us gets transferred back into the earth to be transformed. One breath at a time, breathing up from the ground, exhaling, moving back down into the ground. Just breathing normally at your own pace. One breath at a time, not even looking ahead to the next breath. Breathing up this clear spring of fresh air from the ground, letting it fill up the body, and breathing out, letting your body be cleared. Of course, thoughts continue. And again, just asking this question, where am I now when I'm being with these thoughts? Where do I go? Let's lean into what's pleasant about this experience right now. Start with what's pleasant. I notice a particular feeling somewhere, or just an overall sense of positivity. Perhaps it's difficult to find something pleasant. You might find something small that's pleasant. Perhaps it's just a moment of an exhale or the start of an inhale. Just noticing one thing that's either pleasant, pleasurable, or at the very least neutral about this experience right now. Preferably noticing something pleasurable. I notice a sense of clear, fresh breath, some positive, energetic feeling, which is pleasant from the breathing. A sense of internal quiet that, while it's not fully expressed, it's definitely quieter than normal in my head. And perhaps you notice something else. Notice what it is to feel this pleasant feeling. Where do I feel it? How do I know it feels good? Answer coming in the form of a feeling rather than words. Allowing this line of thought or inquiry to be breathed out. And now lean into what's unpleasant. If you feel resourced and safe enough to do so. And again, if you don't, you might notice something that's neutral or maybe just slightly unpleasant, not extremely unpleasant. If you feel overwhelmed by unpleasant feelings, you can alternate between noticing something not pleasant and noticing something that is pleasant. So you can go back and forth if you prefer. Otherwise, stick with something that doesn't feel very good right now. I notice some uncomfortable sensations in my upper torso, my upper chest. Tension in my muscles somehow feels unpleasant. I don't know exactly why, but it feels unpleasant. So you might just let those into your experience. Might even notice what happens to your mind as you move into these unpleasant realms. Do your thoughts change? Always softening, always settling, always returning back to our base, our taproot. And then you might take a few breaths and let that line of inquiry go as well. No need to particularly lean into what's unpleasant anymore. Sit for a moment without any agenda. Drop any sense of evaluating whether you're doing it right. Just sit. Just see what happens. Assume from the outset that what's happening is perfect. Thoughts coming in. Perfect. Birds in the distance. Perfect. Rumbling in your stomach. Perfect. Allow the mind to go where it wants to go. Close our practice. I'll quote from Pema Chodron, one of my favorite kind of famous meditation teachers and a great author. She says, well-being of body is like a mountain. A lot happens on a mountain. It hails and the winds come up and it rains and it snows. The sun gets hot, clouds cross over, animals relieve themselves on the mountain, and so do people. People leave their trash and other people clean it up. Many things come and go on this mountain, but it just sits there. When we've really seen ourselves, there's a stillness of body that is like a mountain. We no longer get jumpy and have to scratch our noses, pull our ears, punch somebody, go running from the room, or drink ourselves into oblivion. A thoroughly good relationship with ourselves results in being still, which doesn't mean we don't run and jump and dance about. It means there's no compulsiveness. In short, we begin to stop causing harm. So begin to draw your practice to a close, perhaps taking in some bigger, deeper breaths, getting the body started up again, making some small movements. If you'd like, closing with a wish or intention for your practice, just connecting to why you do this. Why are you here? And as you feel ready, you can come back visually as well if you haven't. And we'll come back for some discussion.